so this kind of goes back to when I was telling you I was a kid in church. So my Sunday school teacher, one of my Sunday school teachers when I was in middle school, he used to be a Navy shipman. Okay. And I'm in 6th grade.
Water business, baby.
I'm in.
He about that water business.
So he was in the armed forces, and so he's talking about going over to. He
was a Navy shipman.
He was.
Ain't that most of them?
I just said it.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
This is how he presented
He wasn't no average Navy boatman.
This is how
Navy fucking sloopman.
This is just how he presented himself. Raftman. I was a Navy shipman. You know what I mean?
Raftman. Ah, hell no.
So one day in middle school Sunday school class, I'm in 6th grade. He was the assistant Sunday school teacher. And by the way, there's not a more worthless human being on earth than someone who is the assistant Sunday school teacher of a middle school class. So he's just sitting over there.
When the youth pastor walked up and sat backwards on a chair or whatever, did that guy walk up and put his hat on him and hand him his,
that's like
did he tune the youth pastor's guitar or whatever?
So
that's like the stripper
teacher
that works Wednesdays at 2 p.m.
Our actual Sunday school teacher had just gotten out of jail. And he was one of those. He was one of those like
for what?
Oh, I don't know. But he was one of those. He was one of those Saul to Paul type dudes that they were trying to create that narrative of the church. Like he used to be this, but now he's good. He would sit, his whole thing when we were in Sunday school. He had a knife. And he would walk.
What? Dude, what? Your ex-con Sunday school teacher used to bring a fucking butterfly knife to Sunday school?
An absolute butterfly.
Shut the fuck up.
When we got our Christmas presents from him from Sunday school, it was daggers. He got us all a dagger. He got us all a dagger. So
yeah, this is sus.
You're gonna need this when the revolution comes.
I'm gonna get this back to syphilis. I promise
revelation
you.
Come,
I promise you, I'm gonna get this back to syphilis. But like now that we're talking about him, he would have a knife, and so like that was his like pointer when he's doing this shit. But then when he would, but then but then when
I believe you, but what?
This guy was fishing for Boy Scouts.
But then when he would make a really good like fire and brimstone point, he would. And stab the knife into the ground and stick it into the ground and pick it up. Which, by the way, it could have bounced up and hit one of us in the fucking head.
It's such a perfect example of that thing that's happened over the course of our relationship over and over again, where it's like, how have I known you this long and this has never come up? You realize how
insane this
comically insane all of that is, right?
So again,
this dude gets out of prison. They put him in charge of the kids in Sunday school, and his pointer in class is a fucking butterfly knife.
He won the Ironman contest, by the way, boxing in Chattanooga. He like qualified to go to nationals boxing, come right out of prison. I'm going to get to syphilis. I swear to God. He also, that Christmas, when he gave us all them daggers, we had a Christmas party, and they were like, oh, what are you going to do with the Christmas party? Most people go to Chuck E. Cheese. He's like, we're just going to go downtown and hang out. So we just go downtown and hang out, and he's walking us through.
Thought I'd take him Skid Row.
We go to this pizza place that's just downtown in like a pretty rough part of Chattanooga, and he's walking us through an alley, and he's just like, all right, guys. Y'all just
knives out. Y'all got your knives, right? Y'all open those?
He was like,
get your knives out. They're coming.
He tells us, he goes, we're about to go to this pizza place, but I got to take a piss real quick. So he goes in this alley and he pulls down his pants and he starts pissing. And all of a sudden you hear, whoa, 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 what the fuck? He was just pissing on a homeless dude.
Corey,
he was pissing on a fucking homeless dude.
Like on purpose?
No. He didn't know he was there. No.
Dude, I thought you meant.
No.
Well, I thought you meant he was walking down the street.
No. Homeless people hit for him. He was a good guy.
Okay, all right.
So as soon as that guy was like, whoa, he goes, oh, I'm sorry. He goes, guys, I'm peeing on a homeless guy. And so we're like, what the fuck? And so then we go to the pizza.
Pastor Terry pissed on a hobo with his knife out.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, he's the teacher. The assistant teacher he never really said much. He just kind of sat there. And then one day, Paul's in the middle of giving his like Sunday school sermon.
He's like fucking Pastor Paul's prison bitch or whatever. It's like, you don't speak until spoken
he
to.
He was a middle class kind of. He was
my knife.
He was a fireman that used to be in the Navy, and he's just sitting there barrel chested. And he's just sitting there, and Paul's in the middle of something. All of a sudden, this guy just gets up and he goes, "Paul, if you don't mind, Lord's laid something on my heart."
Here we go.
And Paul's like, you preach it to him, Pastor Scott. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Lay it on him. And he goes,
witness, baby.
he goes, I used to be, we're 6th grade. We are in 6th fucking grade. And this is coming from, he's up there talking about Zacchaeus and the tax man. This comes out of nowhere. He goes, I was in the Navy. We went to the Philippines. And I'm not allowed to tell you much of what went on in the Philippines, but I'm going to tell you that I had my share of women in the Philippines. We all did.
Sucked a couple of their dicks.
And we're in 6th grade. We're in 6th grade, so we don't even really know that much about sex right now. But he's sitting there talking about. He goes, "We passed them around, them Filipino women.
They was so horny. I've always heard.
Yeah." And he goes,
"They so horny."
And he's basically, this whole thing is him trying to tell us not to have sex, right? And he goes, "I don't know if y'all know about syphilis and the clap," and we're all just like, "We don't. We're in 6th grade, but we're learning it right now from the assistant of a lunatic."
Yeah.
Right? So he's sitting there and he walks out. He goes, I'll be right back. And so Paul's like, okay, well, I'll fill the time until he comes back. He comes back with a stump. Like he had gone outside and got a
Aren't
stump.
y'all in downtown Chattanooga?
No. This is when we're in class.
Okay, all right.
This is when we're in class. That was a side note.
Okay, all right.
This is when we're in Sunday school.
I thought this whole thing was happening under an overpass.
No. This is when we're in class and
Paul stole that hobo stump and brought it back.
This is when we're in class and Paul's making points and throwing the knife into the fucking ground and shit. He goes out and I don't know where he finds a fucking stump outside of the church. He comes back and he just got this stump and he just fucking lays it on the ground in front of us. And he goes, y'all see that right there? And we're just like, yeah, stump. And he goes, back in my day when you was in the Navy and you got the clap or you got syphilis.
I know where this is going, I think.
What would happen was,
dude, I've heard this before.
He goes, our captain or whatever would take your, and he said weenie. And it's so funny because like now he's got to clean up. The line goes, they'd take your weenie, they'd sit it on that stump. They'd take a mallet hammer and they'd hit your weenie and all that pus would come out the end of your weenie. So none of y'all have sex. And then he sat down and we were just like, what the fuck was that?
That last part of it, I also was told.
Yeah, right.
And I was told.
Oh my God, this is some Southern shit. I've never heard this one.
I feel like I remember that being called, I think, the bullhead clap, I think. What? It's like it wasn't just a regular clap. You get the bullhead clap, they got to
hit your weenie with a mallet hammer.
Hit your dick with a hammer, and you don't want that, boys.
Yeah, no, that don't hit.
So but stay in school.
But again, then he just finished and
praise the Lord.
And then Paul was just like, so anyway, Zacchaeus was a wee little man, and a wee little man was he. You know, he climbed up in a sycamore tree to see what he could see. So I said all that. That was about syphilis. I'm sorry for the tangent.
No, that's okay. I honestly have little to no idea where I'm at, but that's all right.
By the way, here's Pastor Scott.
Yeah.
Look at that motherfucker.